This is the How Is He podcast, a deep dive into Carlo soccer with Podge and Poppa, proudly sponsored by Curra Sports. Let's kick it off.
Welcome to episode 55 of the How Is He podcast, joined as always by my co-host Paul Poppa here in the fantastic Amplify studios.
Amplify.
Right in the heart of Carlowtown. Thanks, that was nice actually. We didn't fucking practice that, did we? That worked well, didn't it? Spa.
Natural.
This week we'll have a look at the results, fixtures, Podge versus Poppa, and we have two guests with us, both representing Fiacc, Shane Deere and Pete Doran. Shane has been involved in the club since it's been established in 2002, taken various roles in the club and also played for a club. Pete is a bit of a mystery now, to be honest with you. He's the current first team manager, but has a bit of a playing career that he's parking here. He won't tell anyone about it.
No. It's in a safe or somewhere,
but
isn't
he
it?
also played 35s, and he's after spearheading them back to the Premier for the first time in a long time, right?
Yeah.
Delighted to have two boys on.
Thank you.
What's the story? How he's keeping? Good?
Oh, good.
Excited?
Happy. Relieved.
Yeah.
Relieved to be back in the Premier, yeah. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Very well deserved. We were at the game the other night. I was at the game last Wednesday. Yeah, good.
Good battle.
Yeah, good. Good side though.
Yeah.
Right, we'll able to play, we'll able to get it down. Like,
It was always going to go to the wire anyway. I thought personally, for them to stay within a game or two of us all season, like they were chasing us all season, and I knew they wouldn't let up. Like, let's be honest, I knew they wouldn't let up. I knew it would go down to the final day maybe of the season.
Yeah.
It was always going to be a battle. They can hurt you, like, you know what I mean? The boys up top.
We said it last week.
Watching the results 3-0 up after
The year
15,
front
20
four.
minutes in some games, we knew
Yeah.
we knew it was
Their
going
front four
we knew it was
is
going the distance, like.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Your defence is better. Our midfield was a battle on the day. You shared it, but your bench was better.
Yeah.
Your management was more active, and the bench made it seen out the game in the end. But
Strength and depth, yeah.
if you call a spade, you were a better team in the night by a mile.
The lads fully deserved it now, I have to say.
Yeah, we always fancied it. I mean, we always knew they'd score goals because, like I said, their front four, front five,
Brilliant.
always going to score goals.
Yeah.
And it's that. We
So
always
quick.
knew, we knew if there was always a very similar pattern every time we played them. They would start really quick. If they got a goal, they'd really be looking at, hang on, because they're always dangerous on the break. And then the last 30 minutes, we're always completely on top. And once or twice, we reined them in and got over the line.
Yeah.
Once we hit the post in the last minute of the game, didn't quite get over, and a couple of times, we just didn't get there.
Yeah.
So it's almost the same pattern every time we played them. So we knew this time, as long as we kept them, as long as they didn't score early on, we knew, we really fancied it.
it's a hard division though, lads, isn't it? I know you bet a lot of teams comfortably and all that. Even you bet the second, I've seen you play the second team and Pat's bet them comfortably. But like, it's a very hard division.
Yeah.
Like, it's a tough,
All year,
honest.
that's what we're saying to us, you'll walk that division.
Yeah.
No bother to you. Fiacc have that in the bag. And I was there, lads, we don't. We've a problem with.
It's harder said than done, isn't it?
They're right up our asses, like, they're never going to go away. And
The one up, one down makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If it was 2 up, 2 down, it's different.
Yeah.
But the 1 up, 1 down, it just makes such a big
having
difference.
to win it to progress
Yeah,
is the difficult one.
Yeah.
But they learned a lot as well. Like, these lads are very young. They're a very young side, apart from Bobby. Bobby's the oldest. Bobby's
Quite old,
granddad,
isn't he?
Bobby.
Yeah.
35 this year.
Some OG
He
there.
is.
It's delightful.
Yeah, sign
And you got the
for
third
the
one,
absolute
delighted.
choice this
Yeah.
year, he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
So.
He made up for it. So
He's a good lad.
yeah, he is. And he's good to have
We'd have
around
to
the
crack
young
in the
lads
work
as well.
now, so he was
Because
ready to slaughter him. The boys
Yeah.
were calling him Jamie Carragher works Thursday morning. But then he popped up and got the third
Couldn't
one
have
to make it
done it,
3-2.
could he?
I was so happy for him as well. Like,
he
he's
was
His
delighted.
first league.
Even the pictures, like a picture says 1,000 words.
Yeah.
There was pictures of all the team, and then there was the management and a couple of players with their parents. But it was a great one of just you, Gary, I think it was Jamie.
Yeah.
And Bobby.
And
And
Bobby.
just Bobby. It was like the
Yeah,
respect
yeah.
you have for him, and he has for you, and the
he's
players.
great.
Even when he walked in, I seen a couple of videos in Brennan's, and they're like, Bobby's wearing the hat.
Yeah.
And
Do
he's
you know
like,
what?
The boys love him. Like,
He's the biggest kid in the team.
Yeah.
I know that.
He's an absolute.
He's the biggest kid in work as well.
He's the oldest player in the team. He's the biggest kid in the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he was actually on the bench. The night we were laughing. He was on the bench. His back was at him a bit, so we rested him. And I swear, it was like one of the kids on there. Trying to keep an eye on him the whole time.
He's a great lad around the young lads, though.
Yeah.
He's brilliant around the young
Yeah.
lads.
He's needed as well.
Yeah.
The young lads now, they're
But
as good as they are, they can get a little bit carried away
he
at
put his
times.
arm around him and mind him as well
Yeah.
on the field. Like, there's no
Go
one.
to him with anything.
Yeah.
Doesn't pull any punches on him in training though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
The
so.
best way.
I tell you, it's a great relief for him as well, though, lads. Like, do you know what I mean? He used to get slaughtered there, never won the league, never won this. Left
So what he
no
went through,
show,
remember,
he went through hard. We had him on, like he went through hardship, and like to finally get one.
And doesn't
It's fucking
react.
brilliant, like.
No.
Like, there was, you walk lads slaughtered him over when he went to Critty Yard, and then he left But he definitely walked to go to Crete and then lost it up there, and he was getting slagging off lads that, not the players, but lads that don't play the game. The keyboard warriors, as I call them.
Yeah.
And then other clubs he played for as well, but nice to see him get over the line.
Such
Well
a good
deserved
player for
as
us
well.
Yeah.
He's a
I'll be
brilliant
honest,
player.
when he first came back to us, was it 2 seasons, the start of this season ago, you know, and then we played the Thai Town in a pre-season. It was actually, and I tell you, he nearly cut this lad in half. He did, honestly, clean as a whistle, though. Probably one of the cleanest tackles you'll ever see. Ball, man, everything, and we're like, that kind of set the tone.
For
me.
Yeah.
But the younger lads react off that as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He loves the tackle. Even when he was his brother Stephen played with us as well. We in training with
Stephen's a good player,
we were very good. And when we were in the school, the two boys would be absolutely kicking lumps over one another. Like, I mean, going in, it's training, like, we've a match. 3 days' time, lads. Relax there. Pick each other up off the floor. Let's get on with it. Pat in the back. Next one. And
I think he brings the 2 daughters to the town park to tackle them.
You know what? It's funny. He's one of his daughters.
after him now.
His daughter, she plays in my missus coaches. You know, the little kickers sort of thing.
All right.
And, you know, the kids, like the future stars as they are, the under 6s and the under 7s. And one of Bobby's daughters there, she's in the, and so one day they were doing a little, you know, it's only a fun drill, you know, at that age. It's not really. And completely out of the blue, she says, "Can I be a defender?" Honestly,
After that,
didn't have a clue. We told Bobby next day. He was like, I think he was quietly chuffed.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he be?
We'll go through these results, Pop.
Let's go, man.
Newark, I think it's a walkover, is it? In the Carlow Cup.
Dominic gave him
Was
a
that a
walk-up.
quarter final?
Yeah.
It's a shame, lads. Eberbe, 2-0.
Yeah, messy game. Just crap old game,
Talk to
yeah.
me.
Just, we were probably the better team in the first half, and then we scored an OG. The shot was going wide, and Kevin's to go his leg, unfortunately. His knee went in. He were at the back of the goal, Shane, were you?
Yeah.
For that. Went in, and then 1-0 at half time, and then we didn't create many chances. Missing Aaron and Owen was a big loss for us as well.
You're missing Owen as well?
Owen was injured, yeah, and Aaron was playing with the youths, obviously. The goalkeeper made a fantastic save from Adam McCarron from a free kick, a worldly, yeah. But I thought, I didn't know whether it would have been a red card, but Luke was in goal when he was fouled for that.
Yeah.
And he was gone. Like, through and goal, 1-on-1, and it could have easily been a red card. But it's the difference when the referee is refereeing, when these linesmen and no linesmen, you can see, like, you can't see everything. He's only a human being, like. But look, either team could have won it on the day, and then they scored late to make it 2-0, and we just messy old game, being honest. It was just crap. Yeah, unfortunately.
You left in the Premier Cup though, right?
No, that's the Premier Cup.
That was the Premier.
Yeah, we're in the
You're
Carlow
Cup.
Yeah.
Semi-final, quarter-final?
Semi-final.
Draw team met tonight, I think. All Greg affair in the semi-final. Deadly, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Won't be around. Bagnallstown 3, Burn Celtic 3. Burn Celtic won on penalties. That's the Premier Cup as well. Pats B 5, Ballymurphy 1, non-rubber. Oh no, Division 1 Cup that was.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a quarter final as well. Do your research, Podge, will you? Who's left in that then? Yourselves, Pats,
Mill,
Dolman,
and
Slaney.
Slaney.
We've got Slaney this weekend in that. So, and then we thought that Mill had been greyed out, but it looks like they're back. So that Mill are still in it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
You're playing who?
we're playing Slaney this weekend.
In the semi?
It was meant to then be the winner of us and Slaney would go through and play Dolman because Dolman had a bye.
Right.
But I'm not 100% sure, but they're kind of greyed out now, so we're not sure if that means that
Something's happened anyway.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm not sure. So
Right.
whatever that means is we've got Slaney on
Sunday.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
And the ladies, Mill Celtic won 2-1. I think that crowned them champions. Congratulations, Mill Celtic. In the cup, St. Fiacc 6, Killary 1. Well,
7.
7, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Come on, it says 6 here, Pete. Go easy, will you?
Yeah, in fairness, I mean they were fairly short. They were a bit depleted when they Killary. They were obviously
circumstances with the
Yeah.
day before and that
Surprised they went ahead actually.
we
to be
were
honest with
actually
you.
we were kind of expecting to get the call to say it wasn't going to go ahead. You know,
Yeah.
we spoke to Mick
I was
and said-
surprised they went ahead, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Mick had just said they wanted to get it played. I think anyway. So
Right.
we said, look,
He was
Their
involved in the
contest.
club. I think, yeah, Levy
He was the he trained them.
fitness
Yeah,
trainer.
Might be a
Yeah.
bit to clear up a few suspensions maybe because they have a big
Yeah.
game.
Their direction is,
Bagnallstown
or their,
tomorrow night, is it?
big game for them.
Is that tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
It is, yeah.
I'm going to that.
Yeah.
That tomorrow night.
It's always a good game.
That's some local derby. That
Oh,
isn't
it
it?
is,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll definitely go and watch that anyway.
It's going to be a cracker.
You will not
I'm
go
gonna
again tomorrow night, no?
It's just a den rubber, man. It means nothing. I'd rather go and watch the other game. I'm finished now. I told you that already. I'm
No,
not
sure. Peter Pan there beside me, come on.
What's Peter Pan going to do with it?
Because he plays away.
The joke didn't hit, man. No one left. Did you hear that? Silence.
Yeah, all right, Podge.
We bet Slaney 2-1 and watched the game. Slaney were excellent.
Yeah. They're a strong side, actually.
They made it very difficult for us.
We were really hoping that would be on different times because we wanted to come and watch that one, actually. But
we were very poor now, I have to say. It was definitely a hangover game. You know, one of them ones. Where it's like, after been celebrating there for 4 or 5 days or whatever, and to get over the line now. I watched it twice. I watched it again this morning. I was thinking, geez, we were lucky to get over there 2-1. Like,
I think Slaney are only short a couple of players, actually.
Yeah,
to be honest, because they're very competitive. And I mean, it'd be a big game on Saturday night as well because they're 100% up for it. They always are.
Yeah.
Yeah, Woolley has them well organised.
Cup semi-final Saturday, yeah.
Woolley and
was that the quarter-final of the Carlow Cup?
Big time.
Is that quarter-final?
Yeah, quarter-final pop, yeah. Ballymurphy won, Nerneel. That was the Shield final. Congratulations, Ballymurphy. Winners of that. And the Division 2 Cup final, Castle Rangers 2, Newark B 3. That was in the Meadows. I heard it was a cracker of a game. I wasn't at it. We don't at it, no?
No, I was at the semi-final, the one with Critty Yard. There was a couple of great players in that Newark team. Young Pack haven't got man of the match.
Yeah, I seen that. Congratulations.
He's a good lad, yeah. He's very vocal, which is crucial at that.
He's the leader,
and then
isn't he?
I think
Lee Walsh plays beside him, who's a silent assassin.
Who?
Lee Walsh plays beside him. He's super left foot. He plays beside him, or could play in the 6. And then young Feeney, Jack Feen, is it?
Jack Feen is very good, yeah. He's good for
They've a couple of good players, yeah.
Robbie Purcell's over. I know Robbie well. I like Robbie, to be honest with you. And I actually texted him Saturday, congratulating him. He told me he was a little bit drunk.
Yeah.
That's when I knew he was honest. Do you know what I mean? So that's the results, lads. We do have a few questions. I'm gone blind. I'm seeing spots. I'm on a stroke or something.
It's a glare.
It is, yeah. It's a rebound from over there. We do have a few questions for you. And look, I'll tell you where I want to start. Like, your juvenile setup is stronger and stronger and stronger all the time. Yeah, I see the social media presence you have, and there's volumes is brilliant, right? So that's something that's been very steady, said in 10 years now, right? But in 2019, your first team, your senior, and apart from the 35s, went. And then you decided to resurrect it. Talk me through that process.
Well, players, it was kind of heading that direction for 2 or 3 years, to be honest with you.
As in ending?
Yeah, I'll be honest about it. Like,
the crew that you had was kind of expiring, maybe.
Yeah, losing interest. There was nothing coming up either.
Yeah,
there was a massive gap to, say, the lads that we have now. Your Jack, Aaron, John, Scott. There was too big of a gap, and there was no youths coming in. We were getting players in every season, but they weren't really at it. And then interest was lost. I'll be honest, no interest, and I kind of had a feeling we couldn't feel the game for the first part of the season. I think lads were sick or the usual, but they weren't there, and we were basically told if it happens again, that's it, and you have to go for a year then. And then sure, the year had passed, 2 years had passed, and we'd be at games, like I'd be at games, go to all the games.
You go to every game,
I love the junior soccer, I love the Carlow League, and we were often at games, and I'd often say to Mooch or Shane Condren or Fletcher or whoever's with me, I wonder will we ever get back, or will we ever, what's the story? So we have to wait for these young lads, and then all of a sudden I was in work one day and I heard Pete was rallying the troops, and I knew we were in good hands then,
Yeah.
And then the young lads were coming of age, and I thought to myself, "Jeez, are they a bit young? Are they a bit green? Like, would they, going into the bottom division as well? They'd be hockeyed over, like,
Yeah.
Small,
slim. Learn very quick though.
But they hit the ground running, lads. And it's a credit to Pete and it's a credit to the club, and it's gone up. It's just everything has gone so well so far. Like, obviously we didn't get up last year, but to be honest with you, they learned and they had a hard lesson last year. To be honest, now they were gutted, and everyone was gutted, but they just dusted themselves down and back in business this year.
Was it a case of you knew what was coming?
Well, to come back.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, it was PJ contacted me. PJ asked me would I get involved, and look after the team. And look, I've been playing my whole life, It feels like it anyway. And so I'd never managed anyone, but managed people at work, but never managed a team. But the big really clincher, if you like, was, as Shane said, we had this group of young lads, and they didn't have a team to go to. So there was a whole. We'd had a couple previously, hadn't we? But then there was this whole batch of they'd gone to Collection, hadn't they? They formed a Collection. It was a Fiacc Collection team. Fair play to Ronan Brennan and the lads. Kept the lads involved by merging with Collection. So it's Fiacc Collection Fiacc, however you want to put it. But that was for the youth, which they won that as well. But then there was about, there was 9 or 10 lads, wasn't there? There was Jack, there was Aaron, John O'Shea, Scott. Jay Cockney was in that team. Connor Hart was in that team. Willow was younger.
Was he?
Willow was a couple of years younger. There was a few others. I said John O'Shea, didn't I? Sean, what's the name that plays?
Plays the Gaelic.
Yeah,
McGrath.
Yeah, Sean McGrath.
Yeah.
There was. I'm sure I'm forgetting some of the others, but there's a whole batch of young lads. Dan Cole was in that team as well.
Yeah.
And it was like we felt it was too soon to have a men's team. We didn't have a pitch, didn't have a manager. Didn't have anything there then.
But
it was either
scratch.
Either we'd put a team in now, or this bunch of lads are going to have to find another team.
Yeah.
And the worry was if these lads, and they're all Fiacc lads, and most of that team had been together since they were like 6.
Yeah.
And we said if they go, then there's a chance that they don't come back, or we lose them. So the club wanted to just have a team, even just for them. So that was the decided thing. So as I said to PJ, I said, look, I'll do it to get the team up and running until you can get someone better, basically, and we'll just do it that way. But that was really the deciding factor, just to keep all of the
Yeah, I
young lads
suppose
involved.
it's a bit of a risk as well, isn't it? Because you're kind of thinking, as you said, even if we put this group into this level here, you might lose them anyway.
Yeah.
Like that's the one standout thing to me from looking at St. Fiacc from the outside is that when lads go in there, very rare to come out of it. Like, very rare. I don't know what it is, but it's a serious draw and pull. Like lads would have swapped for years between Pats and Fiaccs and all that crack. Yeah. But it's very hard to get them back from the blue side.
Yeah.
Do you know, and it is the Freely Gush or Craig and Two Lawlers and Scott. Do you know what I mean? It's a good example of now and going back.
Club has a lot of character as well, though. You go back to even the early days when I was 2003, we played Bull of Vogue in the cup final.
Tasty.
Nicky Brannigan, there was Spud Murphy, Fletcher, PJ.
Danny Murphy, all the boys. Yeah.
Dennis was there, Dennis was the goalie at the time.
Yeah.
But we got to the cup final. It was a pub team, basically. You know, bleached our heads up to Emerald Halls, bleached our heads white, and I think there was only 3 lads didn't do it, and got the top of the day blue, so white. That was, and these were the Romania of the World Cup.
Kept it for
but
2
that
years.
was just we were going to attach what are these spanners doing here? Oh God, look at this day.
Yeah.
But that was the character of the cup.
Yeah.
We just wanted to have a good time and play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just kind of laid the foundation for future. Everyone was in. Everyone just bought into it, and it was,
Did we win that final?
We won. 3-0. It's first trophy club ever won. Yeah,
right.
Down in Pats.
I have to say, for me, the best teams I've ever played in throughout my whole career are the ones where the whole team are into it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what. I'll be honest. That's the thing with that, because the group of lads, the vast majority of them have been together since they were literally. Do you know if you know? I probably shouldn't say this on air because Aaron will kill me. Aaron actually started at Pats.
I know, yeah.
So
that's all his wife, by the way.
And he because Ben was there. So because when we first moved, we moved into Spindlewood, and so we got the lads involved. Connor was 4 when we moved over, so we just picked the team. So Connor was there, but Aaron literally scolded us for a year non-stop. Wanted to play because he was at Fiacc school and all his mates were they were. And he just wrecked out. And I said, no, you have to see the season out. I said, once you sign for a team. And he's like, but I didn't. You did. So he said, you have to see the season out, right? And once you see the season out, you can do it on. And literally, just wrecked our head. And as soon as the season was done, that was it. But it's because they've all been together, played Gaelic together, be at school together.
Academy, they're all the academy.
Exactly. That was, a good bunch of them there at the academy and everything, wasn't it? So
there is serious, like that group that's there now, you mentioned all them lads. Like, I remember looking at Jack Byrne as a young lad, thinking to myself, this lad's a second coming, like. Do you know? So that's the level of lads you have. Like, the only thing negative I can see looking in, and all I do is look in, the only negative thing is, where's their home, lads? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm
sure you'll get it. But it's something that people always talk about until you get it.
You can't walk down the street now.
No.
What's the story with the pitch?
Yeah.
What's the crack with the pitch, lads? It's hard.
But these things take time. It's a difficult process.
500,000 or 600,000 euro,
but it's the current time as well. It's not like 50 years ago when a farmer gave you 2 acres there.
Yeah,
like it's a different time, lads. Like completely different time. You go through so many
housing crisis. There's land there, and you want to build a soccer pitch on it. And there's people,
full size Astro. 10 years ago was 200,000.
I was just going to. That's
550,000 now.
It gets to. You've been out in Ernie, have you?
It's nearly 3 times the.
You've seen Ernie's new pitch. Fabulous pitch.
And he's out there like that, look. He's like he's a
big man in
Bobby like no
Dublin Airport out there.
That was that.
Yeah, thanks lads.
Yes, I mean Ernie's a fantastic pitch, right? Lovely grass surface and everything, and have lights and everything. But from what I could tell, chatting that cost as much now for a grass pitch as it used to cost for an Astro.
But the the point on that one is, how long are Ernie gone?
Yeah.
Ernie are gone. Are the oldest club in Carlow, I think.
One of them,
They're going since early 70s anyway.
Jesus.
Like, you know, what's their pitch? 2 years old.
Yeah.
Now, they had a bit of land or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, that's the only kind of... I don't even see it as a negative. I don't see it negative because it's completely out of your hands. So it's not
It's on the way.
negative.
Committee are very hopeful anyway, and they reach out. So, very
There's
hopeful.
a lot of work going on in the background there.
Yeah.
That people don't like. They can't tell you what they don't know either. You know what I mean? Like, you've Ronan Minnock there, you've Ray Pearson, they're looking after the pitch. You have Joe Farrell's is involved. Stan Bolton is helping out. Like, there's so many people in the background you wouldn't know. You know what I mean? And it's you meet with the council. You know, we'll get back to this in 2 weeks. That becomes a month. You know, and the time
We're going
passes.
through ourselves, Shane. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy, lads.
Which
It's
the
not easy.
last thing you get is an answer, and the second last thing you get is a timeline.
Yeah.
You get a deflected answer, Podge.
Yeah.
We'll put you off there now. And what about this? And what about that? And when you go in and they ask you a question 3 weeks previous, you go in with an answer to that.
Yeah.
And there's another question you come up with. You're like, what are you talking about here? Do you know what? That's the way it is, though. And you're like confused and frustrated and everything. And I understand it's not easy to get because it's such a price, but at the end of the day, like, Fiacc have a lot of kids over there now. We're the same. We've 400 kids or something in the club.
Yeah.
And you have to call off training nights because you've only one small Astros you see up there.
I'd say you're the biggest juvenile club in Carlow now.
I think they are, yeah. I think they are.
Seriously,
100 kids, Jesus.
Something like that, yeah. It's mental.
It's the bit up on the school. Is that yours? Because it says lights and everything up there.
They play non-competitive up there is what they do.
That's what it is. But
That's where Hearts
there's
used to
lights
play.
and everything have gone up, haven't
Yeah,
they?
they bring up, leave temporary goals. The press are very good to them.
Right, yeah.
Let them leave the temporary goals up there.
Right.
And they just, the matches is up there.
Yeah.
They come back, or they leave everything up there. But it's just so hard. Like, you'd love to have an AstroTurf and play, even for training, like, and do phases of play and all that. But like I said in episode 1 or 2, you're going out and do phases of play and it's rolling across the crocodile's back. No good.
But sure, even Pat's though, lads. Like, Pat's are 50 years this year. Like, you know, they didn't start with an Astro on.
Seriously.
Do you know what I mean? You know, like these, like, you're young.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even, you're not even 25 years old yet.
yeah.
Like, you're relatively young, like, do you know what I mean? So I think patience is the thing. Come here, going back to the rise, right? So you started in Division 2.
Yep.
Promoted first season.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then last season, then runners up. What was the timeline you gave yourselves to get back? Because you're not going in to stay, especially with that group of players we discussed how good they are. You're not going in to stay in your own Division 1, Division 2. You're going in to get back to the Premier, right?
Yeah.
What did you give yourselves a timeline?
It was never a timeline to get back to the Premier. It was kind of a hope. I'll be honest with you. When we first went in, we got all the lads together, and I have to say I was kind of a bit blown away because all we didn't actually do any big recruitment. We just told all the lads, it was kind of like a Facebook thing, we're meeting in Brennan's just to see who's interested.
Yeah.
And there was a heap of lads came out. You know, there's obviously all the young lads, and there was all the lads like Birdie Hand and Rowan and Braille came back.
Yeah.
Lads desperate to get back, which is really good to see. And our first training session, we just said, look, okay, I just said, need to know, what are we looking to do this year? Is it play football, have a crack, you know, just enjoy ourselves, or are we in it to win it? I said, it's up to you. I don't mind. I mean, either way, I don't mind. I'm here, you know, because
You'll enjoy it either way.
Exactly, I'll enjoy it. And we were just trying to, you know, keep the players together. And all the lads were flat out, no, we want to win it. So I said, right, because obviously then you need to approach things in a different way if we want to win it. We have to be prepared to do what it takes. We have to set up differently. Because winning any division,
It's not easy.
it's not easy, no. And you know, and you need certain things to go your way. And I'll be honest, that first season, I think we were the best team in it, and we won it. You know, it's funny if the lads all laugh because I set the goal. You know, I said, look, to win any division, you need to average about. The lads will, you know, take the piss out of this. I tell them you need to average 2.5 points per game. That's what it is, which means you need to win about 85% of your games. Right?
Probably
That's not
more.
easy. Yeah, at least 85%. Any less than 85%, you're probably not going to win the league.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
And
So you're close to that?
yeah, we've done it. Yeah,
Did you, yeah?
we'll have it. We've done 2.6. So 2.5 point. Last year we finished on 2.
Fucking vote him over.
Last year we were 2.46 and came second. Right, that's how it works. Honestly, generally, if you're generally, if you're in and around 2.5 points per game, right, you'll finish. Unless somebody's had an exceptional season, you'll finish.
How
top.
are you doing these figures? Where are you getting, like?
It's just, to be honest, that bit's the
What
easy
do you
bit.
work? What's your day-to-day
I'm
job?
in sales, actually. I'm so. But
You're on commission, are you?
Sells
yeah.
I'm on 2.5 commission.
But for me, I was that bit's quite easy. Figuring out how you're going to get that is a difficult bit. But so the idea is winning 80. Like you have to win if it's say a 15 game season. You have to win at least 12
I find
or 13.
that nuts, Pete, because I look at what it takes. I'm always about clean sheets. Like I'm saying, if we can keep out of 20 games, we can keep 18 clean sheets, we're going to be very close.
See, I look at the opposite. So because for me, I figured, and probably shouldn't say, I think that's where I think a lot of teams go wrong because they set up to not lose. And the problem is if you draw more than if you draw 4 games or more, you're dead. You can't
correct.
go up. You won't win.
Correct. Yeah.
So you have to win. Nearly not. I'd say it's between 85 and 90% of all games you have to win.
Yeah.
So for me, that's why we've always said, right, so we'll set up to win. And to win a game, right, you need to score generally like 3 to 4 goals as an average.
Yeah.
So you need to be creating roughly 10, 12 chances a game. To get, unless you've got somebody who's like a really clinical, unless you've got maybe a Lee Salter, we'll get you 3 from 3 or something, But so you need to be creating a lot of chances. So that was kind of right from the off. That's how we set up. We said we'll set up really offensive, look to create lots of chances because it's the only way you got.
Well, I can see that. Even I only seen it twice or 3 times, but especially Wednesday, I can see that considering the profile of the game. He went 3 at the back, right?
Yep.
And it wasn't a 5, like it was a 3.
Yeah.
Is that because it's a small Astra? Would you do the same in the Premier? In a Pat's pitch away.
Find out next year.
Like Shane, pop on the big nods.
No, but seriously,
No, I mean,
Collision is a lot bigger than Vale.
We actually like playing that way on the bigger pitches, actually, to be honest. I mean, but in the first game against Dolman, we went for at the back, but it was because it's a really tight.
It's tight,
It's a tight, narrow pitch. But we generally tend to like to play roughly the same formation. We'll tweak it a little bit, like we might tweak a little bit or ask the lads to tweak out of possession or in possession. You know what it's like, depending on against Dolman, because their front 5 are electric.
Yeah. They are good,
and they can be, and they could cheat a little bit. They don't always backtrack, so you have to be aware that they're going to break really quick.
If you lose it,
but generally we like to set up a certain way and try and let other teams worry about us. Rather than.
But your back 3, like the 3 boys at the back there, the 2 Lawlers and Bobby, like they are a recovery back 3, as in if they are turned. Somehow they're a kind of player, the percentage goes in their favour and it'll always corner at least. Do you know what I mean? That's what I like about them 3 lads.
To be honest, we've been blessed this year with. I tell you, the biggest problem has been trying to fit all the because playing with the back 3, we like to essentially 3 centre halves, trying to fit all the centre halves in. Because
young Bradley's been fantastic.
Outstanding.
And Jake Hockney there.
Jake Hockney,
first 5 games.
Sure, Leo Hurley isn't no bad either, lads.
Leo's
going to be very good.
I was just going to say that. That was it. So first 5 games, Jake was probably
player.
our best player. Jake Hockney,
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So Brado, middle of the season, was outstanding. Last season, Leo Hurley was like second in Player of the Year voted for everyone.
Yeah.
Then obviously you got Bobby Dowling, and you got Keenan Pooch as well. We got Jelly plays left back. We literally said there was like six lads there.
And you have, I thought, when I seen his name pop up, Dickie's younger brother.
Killian.
Oh, Killian.
Yeah.
Killian, because he's a savage player.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, he's more, with playing 3 at the back, it's the natural
He's not a wing back, he's a full back.
But we played him left midfield.
Okay.
That's where we played him. But I can tell you, he's loves a tackle. So strong in the tackle for, he's a small player.
He's a good lad, isn't he?
And going forward, very good.
Doesn't watch football. He said to him one day, I says, well, what's story, Killian? Going for the match later? I don't watch football. He said, what do you mean? I just love playing it.
Yeah.
I said, do you support anyone? No.
He didn't play for a year. So when he finished youth, he just didn't play for a year. And
don't
he
come
came
across
back
that
in.
often.
It's
Very,
fantastic.
very unusual.
Ravo is the same for Pats.
Is he?
So
Doesn't
composed.
watch
he is.
football.
He is some player.
Doesn't
Lads.
sports team.
He's out with tin whistle, isn't he?
He's doing tin whistles and that, yeah, playing chess and shit like that. On recruitment, so like you made, like you didn't. It's probably the greatest recruitment I've ever seen a first division side do, right, on and off the field.
Yeah.
Who was crucial to that?
Do you know what I was thinking about this actually? And it's going to sound like a cop out, but I couldn't put my finger on any one appointment because I just say no. It was the term when you say recruitment. We actually didn't recruit anyone. We genuinely. It's one of the things I'd be very big on is right that I have never approached any player.
Lying bastard.
Honestly, no. Do you know what?
No,
because I have this thing right that I think every one of the players that's joined us say come to us and say can we come and play. Because
you're not that naive to think that the players that you have aren't going.
No,
recruitment's recruitment. If it's coming from you or spastic fest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Recruitment's recruitment. Like, and that's not a slight. That's football, right?
How many players were signed this year? I remember at the start it was 50 something.
Well, it's just because the way I always look at it though is I would never ask. It sounds really hard, but I would never ask a player to come to us, right? Because I feel if I go to a player and say, "Will you come and sign for us?" I'd almost feel like I'm obliged to play
him.
Right?
That's funny you say that because lads get caught with that.
Yeah, and I don't want to be in a position where a lad says, "Listen, you asked me to come, and now you're not playing me."
Yeah.
So, whereas when a lad comes and says, "Can we come?" I say, "Yeah, of course." And we let lots of lads even come and train with us. And there's lads that don't have clubs, isn't there? And there's other lads that come and train with the B team, and we say, "Yeah, come and just train." And then if they're good enough, they play. And if they're not, then there's lots of it because there's loads of competition for places. But that's kind of why would never go out of my way to ask somebody. But the recruitment was, Jesus. It was a combination. I was thinking who came, because obviously we had Keno and Pooch come in. Keno came in quite late.
Yeah, as he does.
But I'll be honest, the problem, I think there's a lot of talk about this rule that you can only sign 4 players.
3 players, I think, isn't it?
But it's not the case. It's not a rule, actually.
No.
It was only a case when we were a new club in the 2nd division
Yeah,
that
it's
you
a new
can't
club,
have, you can't have players come down. So so Keane wasn't going to sign, actually. And it was only literally the season was started and Keane mentioned it. And we said, well, he actually was chatting to him. He goes, I'd love to. We said, well, that isn't a rule, you know.
Yeah.
So he kind of came in, and with the Gaelic as well. There was a bunch of lads stuck with the Gaelic. But so Keane and Pooch come in, Dylan Walsh come in. That super smooth player, such a smooth player.
He's with you, wasn't he?
He was a Hanover.
He won a league with Hanover, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was there that time.
Doesn't really, for me, he doesn't look super spectacular, but he's so smooth on the ball, makes good
Technically
decisions.
very good.
Makes things look very easy, do you know what I mean, and moves the ball well. Obviously, we had Scotty up top, who hit the ground running and Doyle coming in goal, which is massive.
That was massive.
I'm trying to think of else I'm missing. But then we had the 3 lads come up from the youths as well. So we had 3 lads come up from the youths.
That's nearly 8 players, though, That's huge.
Yeah, and they're all in the they're regularly in the 18. You know?
I would say your biggest recruitment tool is the friendship of the players off the field.
It's a tool, absolutely.
Is a massive.
Yeah.
Without you going after a player or asking a player or you asking a player or PJ or Gary or whoever is involved, the biggest recruitment tool is the friendship off the field.
Yeah.
Definitely. Man, some crack, the boys are deadly at call. They don't just say, whoever's there for Fiacc. Pete is doing a proper job. Gary Walsh doing a proper job. Jamie Lawler, whoever's there. They're doing a proper job with you.
They were big signings off the
What you're doing.
I was going to say that. Gary's a big appointment, right?
Massive,
yeah. And again, that was Gary actually rang me. Gary actually completely out of the blue. He actually sent me a message initially because he was obviously doing his UEFA, he's doing his B license, and he said he didn't have a club that he needed a club to come and do some sessions with, and I was like, absolutely, yeah, come on in. And tried to, and we got him to help out with the over 35s, and then got him in with but fantastic, I mean, because I actually like to have, and I know a few people asked me, they said, how will it work with the 3 of you? And because the year before there was Murph and Padjo helping out, and I said I actually like it being 3 of us. Because I like to get different opinions.
For sure.
And sometimes I might agree with Gary, sometimes I might agree with Jamie, sometimes I fall out with, we fall out with the pair of them.
Yeah, it happens as well.
It's a lot
It
easier
has
than
to
on your
happen.
own.
But at least, and sometimes we'll be in a game, I'll be honest, and Gary will just make a point. I'm like, absolutely. And sometimes Jamie does, and I like that. I just like, so that for me, that's been a huge help,
Good players, good coaches.
Who would you think is the best of them, Shane? Looking in as a fan supporter.
This season, this season for me, Aaron Dorgan, has been consistently the best player. I think
Aaron's the middle one, right?
Other players have drifted in and out
Aaron's
of
the
games.
youngest lad.
Aaron's the youngest lad. Sorry,
they might play 2 or 3 good games.
Yeah,
drop off a little bit. Aaron, he actually didn't have his best game Wednesday night in the Astro against Dolman last Wednesday. He was, but that's the bar. He sets the bar, and he's
struggling with his back, to be honest.
He's struggling at the minute with that back. He's like, thought he was going to have to come off. We were thinking it was the same. It was the same in the Sunday before, but he's been struggling with it for a while now, hasn't he?
He just needed to have a rest. That's why he didn't play last weekend, and so.
The training, look at the shape he's in. That.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You watch the claws in his stomach, wouldn't you?
What's the trick action, man, going around?
Cheese off his stomach, man.
Like an old washboard.
Italian restaurant could do with him, though, and they put him over the pasta. It's great. I'd agree. And good kid as well. Good kid as a young lad.
He's a very honest player, Podge. He's a very honest player. He's 110%.
Missed Ben as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Ben has been fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched Ben. I thought Ben was absolutely unbelievable against Newark. I thought he was unbelievable
Man of the match,
against
he'd be giving out
the greatest team in Carlow over the last so many years. I thought he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And what he done for the second goal,
the pass,
but he just the way he just held up, shoved off Dotsy or shoved off whatever he shoved off, and it passed out to Aaron. Aaron fizzes to the far side. I don't know who got the goal.
John O'Shea.
John O'Shea, was it?
John,
yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant goal.
Sweet left foot.
He was just, oh my God.
John O'Shea is a quite nice footballer as well.
Lovely left foot.
And I bet it's absolutely, when you were saying who's the biggest influence, I was trying to think which one player's come in and maybe which one player's been giving us the result, maybe 2 or 3 games that we won. And I actually think it sounds like a cop-out, but it's just an accumulation, because throughout the whole season, we've had periods where we've been without different, like Ben, you mentioned Ben was missing for the last 4 weeks. He's been working away in England. And then like Willow came in and they scored four
I
goals
seen
in
that
20
the weekend,
minutes.
There as well.
Do you know what I
lads.
mean?
And I heard Bobby Dolan shouting to him just before, for going out to tip off. Willow, you make a statement here now today. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
4 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Brilliant.
Pooch pulled up. Pooch got injured, missed 3 or 4 games, and was stuck with college. And then Keane came in. You know, Keane had a thigh injury and he was out. You know, Brado's after tearing the ligaments in his arm against Dolman. So he was out. So every time somebody's been out, we've had somebody else that's kind of come in and stepped
And you know
up.
what? That's more than luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You're
that's
not
been the
weakening the
difference to me,
team in
so-
any of you. You're not weakening the team either.
That's
You know
more,
what
and
I
it
mean?
goes back to that
that's very
core
important.
of that core of players you spoke about, playing together as kids.
Yeah.
Goes back to that.
Yeah.
You know that there's your group. So if one is missing, hey, this lad, he knows all. He's been around a long
Even
time.
looking from the outside in, like I had the juveniles years ago with Bernard, you know, with Aaron and Jack, and they've been bringing them everywhere around to all the games and all. Like this time of year, to be running out Greg Hall, like with their Easter eggs. What did you get? What did you get?
Yeah.
And now you're watching, you know, the transition from boys to men.
Yeah.
I still think in my head, like, sure, only little Jack,
Yeah.
little Aaron. They're not little boys anymore. They're men now.
Yeah, there's so many.
You know,
I know
it's a very proud thing as well, like,
That's
for the club.
brilliant.
And
It's
everyone's the same, you know. And fair play to them because they're stuck at it. You know, young lads around the age of 16, 17, women drinking. You know, you can
What's that?
can
Getting nostalgic.
Women
isn't it?
drinking.
What's
What's
that
that? Never clue. Look at the halo boy.
But there can be distractions out there, and it's stuck together. And fair play to them. You know?
Yeah, but even with them distractions, the fact that you can balance your life enough that you can stay in your own and play, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the bottom line for every club, lads. It doesn't matter where they're playing, once they're playing, right?
Yeah.
Especially if it's within your club, be it the second team or B team or youths or whatever.
Like Jack's mother, Donna, is like the godmother of the club.
I know.
isn't
Yeah, she texts me. She texts me
Even
before
Tracy,
tonight's
like,
episode.
Tracy's the same with the smaller kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they love doing it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they love it. They've interest there, and you know, it's great to see.
You got to your recruitment up, Pete, and I'd say I would think that Dyler in the goal. He's definitely
I was thought you were going to say he's recruiting.
he's if not the best goalkeeper in Carlow, he's definitely one of them.
I think he is.
His distribution is second to none in the Carlow.
If you want to be a goalkeeper, come and watch him.
I think he's the best keeper in Carlow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd agree.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think
He's very, very
Craig
good.
Carney is absolutely unbelievable. I think Ben is unbelievable, but Craig has something different, lads.
He's a
It's
coolness
distribution.
and a
It's
cockiness.
distribution, lads.
And I wouldn't say it's a calmness. It's not
Yeah.
cocky, it's a calmness. Like I told you about the Oscar
Laid
Trainer
back,
game. I'm
he's-
going,
yeah.
what is he doing here? Chesting the ball down with 5 minutes to go. But
a
he was
nervous
in
wreck
total
on him.
control.
Yeah.
And him roaring at him the sideline.
Yeah, the picture of him last year in the walk, and he caught the ball one-handed with 5 lads around him. You ever see that picture, huh? There's a picture. It was actually presented to him where he
I was
he's
right
in
behind the
air
goal
like
for that.
that.
I was right behind the goal for that.
And
I caught it with one hand.
One hand.
Yeah.
Not a bother on it.
Not a bother on him.
Just went down.
No walk were drawn 1-1. They needed to score to win
Yeah.
the league.
I remember that.
And what I love about
Coolness personified in the goal.
You're going to a second league game or third league game in the season to a team that you fancy beating. It's the same attitude if he's going to play Shamrock Rovers in Tallaght Stadium. He does not care.
Turbo Slanner, though.
Right, does not care.
Ah, Jazz, he used
Does
to
he
do
put
my
the
head in
shite away at
Slanner.
times?
Deadly,
does.
man.
He just gets the ball down, he takes the touch. Joe Dorn was running on him last week, and I was thinking, is he going to get rid of it? He took another touch. Oh, Jesus, Dyler, not today.
Yeah.
I
Not
think
now.
you were standing in front of
He
me.
put it through his legs.
Yeah,
Put it through his legs, yeah.
Not make
No,
the
I
Stand
first.
beside you, yeah.
Joe thought he was in. He thought you had him. Like,
I thought,
right at him.
cardiac arrest there in front of me.
Yeah. He wasn't the only one, I can tell you.
That's the truth.
Yeah, but no, he kind of brings like involved in a Patsy. Kind of brings a coolness and a calmness to the whole place as well.
Bobby Dowling does that as well, because I said to Fletcher, the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the game, after the Sunday game, like you seen the crowds were at, the overflow, car park was overflowing, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
at the top of the hill. Like we knew the crowd was there, young lads, you could see them on edge. I knew in the warm-up, I was watching them in the warm-up, but I was going to get the picture or whatever. And there was a drill broke down and Aaron and Jack lost their head. You know what I mean? Usually it'd be, come on now boys, let's get into it. Get the fucking drill right. Come on, this is about now. We're doing the business today. And Bobby Dowling got the ball, I don't know how many times in the back lane. Remember just knocking around the back lane. Cool as you like, lads, keep it calm. Keep it calm. And the players, you could see the players, you know, like Gaga's in charge here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He set the tone, and I thought that the players fed off that a lot, you know what I mean? Like, just the calmness. And like you said, with Dyler behind him as well,
Sure.
cool as you like.
You can know you're in trouble here, like, or the defender's facing his own goal. It goes back to Dyler. 60 yards. It's not just a kick out or a pass out. It's accuracy as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's bypassing the midfield and you're going to a player like Scott who's rapid over the ground. You're like, hey, we're in here.
Yeah, but it's bigger. It's bigger,
No,
Papa, because when it goes back to Craig, lads have to press him.
Yeah.
Because if lads don't press him and they go on a mid block or low block, he's going to play in the area that's going to turn your back four.
Yeah.
So you have to press him. Now what happens there when you press him, if your centre half drops out, you can play out, and all of a sudden they're down a player. It's 10v9. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the game is a different game then. So I think having him in the goal, just for that, like, it actually asks the question to the team.
It's
come
very
on,
much
come
what
on,
we try, yeah.
come on and get it off us, lads.
He's got a couple of assists this season. Isn't he?
Yeah. It's very much something we set up to do. That obviously, because some teams come out to press you, and so you know that if they press, we can put it over the top and make them turn. And you do that a couple of times, and they start second guessing it and start dropping deep, which leaves space. Or if they drop off, he is. That's where when you say when we played the back three. To be honest, having a keeper, it's almost like a back four anyway, because you use him in the outfield play anyway. So,
but you bypass his goal. Like, his feet is fantastic. But I was down at the back of the goal when you played and you walk in the Shield. He made a whirly from Dean Kelly in the first 2 minutes. Dean did a step over and left the defender for dead as he does, and buried in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
But doesn't stick a foot out of nowhere. Like he's exceptional goals, like saving wise as well.
Yeah.
I think he's some attribute to having in that team. Serious attribute.
What was it? We all have that moments and turning points. Talk to me.
It's going to sound like a silly one, this is, but I'll be honest, I think the big turning point for us was when we moved pitch. Getting the agreement with Vale.
Okay, where were you before that then?
We'll put the Prez.
Okay, you played your home games in the Prez.
At the Prez.
Right. And just so
This your first year in Vale?
Yeah.
Change your style?
second year.
Second year, yeah.
But second year Vale. But so when we were in the second division, we were playing at the Prez, and I could tell you, and our home form was probably our worst form.
Because of the pitch?
Yeah, it's a tiny pitch.
I love playing away.
Yeah, we did. Honestly, we loved playing away, and it was actually.
Does that mean standard pitch?
We had to actually, we changed the team. Like what we started doing, believe it or not, is Chang was with us on. We started bringing Chang in whenever we played at home. We played Chang in the 9, because he was able to just hold the ball up. He's an awesome,
strong,
huge player.
He loves the battle
He'd get the ball and hold people off, and allow the younger lads then to link up and to get on the ball. But moving to Vale, I think it allowed us to play the football we wanted to play, and actually then get it down and start playing the football that we wanted to play anyway, and B that suited the lads, the team that we had.
For sure, expense wise, it's a cost, right?
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
Like, how are you financing that, lads?
Do you know how much it is?
Yeah,
I can tell you. Because funny, I had to work it out for so
sure
between
it's €2.5 a minute
between the A team, the B team, the youths, and the 35s.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, between the 4 teams, just training, pitches, and pitch hire for matches. Doesn't include refs. Between training and pitch hires, just over 22 grand a year.
That's League of Ireland yearly budget standards.
So, and we fund that through the last man standing, which has been fantastic. That was Jamie winning that this year. That was brilliant, and then the lads obviously just pay £10 a week for fees. That's how we
on top of trying to get a pitch in the current climate.
Well.
So that's
fuck me, lads.
Yeah, so that's hiring training pitches in the week. What we do is we'll share the pitch. We'll all training pitches and pitch.
Where does the juveniles play?
Yeah, the youths.
No, like the kids.
Oh, St Pat's College.
Yeah.
Pat's College,
and Knockbeg as well.
Yeah. Oh, is that what they play, right?
Non-competitive in Knockbeg and competitive juveniles.
Up as far as 15 or 16?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, girls
There's a lot of teams there,
St Pat's as well. So
girls were up in Barcelona there, they won a cup.
Yeah.
I've seen that, yeah.
Last Wednesday, the same day as the boys won the league.
And they're only back from Blackpool as well, are they?
Yeah, Doran and Mick Dargan are over there, yeah.
Seen the pictures, brilliant, isn't it?
They had a few pints.
Yeah.
Mick Dargan wouldn't drink, would he?
No, he wouldn't drink. He's Pioneer.
Gentleman. Absolute gent.
Top football man as well.
Yeah.
That's extortion, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, so that's like I said, that doesn't include obviously your normal fees, referees' fees and stuff like that you have to pay anyway. That's just what we pay over and above. So if there's any local businesses, any big businesses that want to come on board as
any advertisement here on this comes to the Hosie podcast, right? It's not going to say
yeah, back off, Susan.
But seriously though, like we had Brian on, he spoke about how given the league are is there any help there at all from that end? Or?
There is actually, yeah.
Okay.
I know where the committee have been on with the league and stuff like this. I know they had meetings with them, and so I think they say we're very close to getting the required sponsorship to break, to sort of like start development anyway. So, but and the league have already said, I know there's kind of funds there that once we have a certain amount, they'll contribute. I'll leave the committee work out exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But they're definitely there on board as well anyway. So.
Yeah, it's like it's funny. It's funny like that's you're saying that like changing ground is the game changer. Like does that as a coach or manager or your coaching team, does that change your approach then, your sessions and things? Because you're saying, we're playing in a different place now, lads. We can get down and we can Like, so is it different during the week then for you then when you're working on whatever you're working on?
It is, I'll be honest, it was making, because when we were at the Pres, it was, because it was quite new to me, it took me a little bit of a time to figure out what it was, but it was so what we actually started doing is when we were playing on grass, we'd get there like 20 minutes early to get an extra 20 minutes just knocking the ball around to get used to the smaller pitches and the conditions and everything. And I was seriously considering changing where, because trying to find somewhere to train is difficult enough anyway.
Yeah.
But we find the training on Astro in the week and then playing on a
Oxymorons.
tiny grass pitch at the weekend. It just wasn't. And we were seriously considering, like, do we change how we should play or not? But we wanted to stay true to it. And if we're going to play that attacking style of football and actually really commit people forward and try and score goals.
But if you look at your squad on paper, there's more footballers here than brawlers, isn't there?
Yeah.
So you want to be playing on a proper pitch.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, you said the best recruitment tool is a friendship. I actually think, from the comments I've had on some of the people, that the way we play football, the style of football, people have said to us that they'd like to play that sort of football. You know what I mean? So I think that kind of helps as well.
Good,
and
for sure.
And you do need to be playing on a decent pitch to be able to do that. Yeah. So.
Next year, how are we going to fare in the Premier? What are you hoping for, first of all?
Big, ideally just do ourselves justice.
Yeah.
Right?
No, shut up.
I'll be honest, we know we can
I
compete
think
with
fourth
anyone.
or fifth. I think outside the top three is where we finish.
With
I think
the
with Pat's pretty hard and York, their current experience, the current team Pats have now.
After pushing Newark in a Shield final that you should have won.
Yeah, but you're getting up for the Shield for one game, Podge.
Okay.
You're up for it. It's a final.
We see it in Division 1,
the
don't
music
we?
is
Teams
going,
playing
Papa. You know yourself. The buzz is there. The build-up is there.
Okay.
You have to do that every week.
There's a carnival effect there that night. The crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the crowd last Wednesday was big as well.
Oh,
though.
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
sorry to
yeah.
go across you. The crowd last Wednesday was class. Really, would that be...
You have to get up for every game in the Prem, because you make a mistake there in the division we were in, you'll probably get away with it.
Yeah.
You make a mistake in the Prem, you're getting hurt.
It's funny you say that, Sham, because like I look at Burn Celtic last year and I looked at Vale the year before. Was it Vale the year before, wasn't it? Or not, Bagnallstown and Vale. Like, I would have said that them teams would be a lot better in the Premier. It's funny that you met... that would have never come into my mind that... It's not that the quality is much different, it's the approach is a lot different, right? So that you're playing teams that are this level every week, lads. Do you know?
But when they say fourth or fifth, I don't mean like it's... You know what I mean? Like,
you're hanging on by your thread
the
for
lads are saying, Feast will be brilliant in the league. They'll challenge everyone. That'd be a brilliant season. Fourth or fifth in the first year in the Prem. Take that all day, lads.
Yeah.
Being honest. And they're going to gain experience.
Who's going down? Kilry or Bagnallstown, is it?
Yeah, Burner safe, right?
Burner safe.
Yeah, Burner safe.
Pretty hard, isn't it?
Kilry and Bagnallstown play on Wednesday.
Tomorrow night.
I think
Tomorrow,
if Kilry win, it goes to a playoff, does it? As long as Bagnallstown don't beat Newark, get a result. I think if Bagnallstown get any result against Newark...
Bagnallstown have 2 games left, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And one of them is Kilree, the other one's Bagnallstown.
Yeah. Where is it? Is it in Kilree or Bagnallstown?
It's in Kilree.
It's in Kilree, but they won't have to go to
definitely
Bagnallstown. I'm going on tomorrow night. Sorry, Badger, if you're listening. I won't be Newark. I don't know, where was I?
I'll be honest, I actually think we're good enough to beat any team in the Premier on our day. Right? I'll definitely say that. But the big key is how...
Over the course of a season.
Exactly.
Papa.
You know, it's that the 2.5 points per game, it actually stacks up almost in the Premier too, actually.
Yeah.
But this year, I think it was obviously... I think, was it last year that Newark didn't lose a game but still finished second?
Yeah.
Do you know, I mean...
And it goes back to what you said.
It's
4 draws.
4 draws. It kills you. So
4 draws.
And I know, like, when we won Division 2, we had 2 or 3 games where we scored in the last minute of the game. Birdie Hand got a winner up at the Pres. Did you remember that? And Jack Byrne equalised against, I think it was Baltinglass in the last minute of a game.
Right.
And over the course of the season, they're the difference between, when you win the league by 2 or 3 points, that's it. Whereas last year, I'll be honest, we had a couple of games where we missed chances in the last minute. And that was it, literally tiny little things.
Yeah.
And in the Premier, I think you don't get as many chances.
No, you don't.
So you do need things to go your way as well.
Yeah, so we drew 6 year. We drew 6 year before. We drew 6 last season.
Right.
And I always say 4 of them was from a winning position.
They kill you, doesn't it?
And
Absolutely
if that's 12 points that would have put... We would have won the league last year as well, actually, if we had a day.
Ian the Blatant beside me. Come on with your sad story.
You got like 5 last minute winners or say 85th plus last season.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
Like,
colossal.
I remember talking to Craig Comerford behind the goal one time. We're down at Pat's match, freezing cold. Well, Craig, how do you think of Farrow? We're all right. We'll stay plugging away, you know.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what did. I think after that they got another 3 last minute winners or something.
I think they drew the first game against Newark away. Evan O'Carroll scored a worldie.
Oh, I was right behind the
And I
goal
think
for
they
that.
lost
What a
the
goal.
second.
Yeah.
They had 1 point from 6 to still win the league.
I'd tell you the
There you
big
go.
game for you this year, I think, Hanover.
in the plots.
Right, I'll be honest. I was watching the last 20 minutes. It was all Hanover, wasn't it? The only team looked like scoring. All Hanover. You could just see it coming. You could see it coming. In with about 3 minutes to go, you get Roland Sandy scores. Right, the whole team switched off for 2 minutes. Pats get 2 quick fire goals. You hadn't looked like scoring, had you, for 20 minutes? All of a sudden, 2 goals.
Divine intervention.
All of a
Even
sudden,
the away at Parkfield game,
I think the experience of Hanover thought that the game was over.
They nearly went ahead.
But you play that game again 3 times. You play that game, exact same game, right? And instead, you don't get the last minute winner.
No.
Different result, but
you might get an
both teams play
equaliser,
the
but
same.
not 2 goals.
Would it be fair? Like, do you know what it is? This is what I find fascinating, Pete. It's after dawning on me. Like, you're coming up from the first division, and you have the attitude, you understand it. I'm in the Premier, so I don't think, and you'll be kind of saying, you don't really think like that because we're here now, we know what teams are like. Do you think then the teams previous to you coming up had that attitude where it's just going in, look, just do our thing, let's just go play, we'll be grand?
Well, I think like these lads here, like they're afraid of nobody. Like they're not going to be phased at all.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean that they're not arrogant lads. Believe me, they're not. They're very modest actually. Like they don't, you know what I mean. They don't make a fuss about themselves. But going up here next year, I think they'll rattle a few cages. Yeah. I don't think
preparation's key.
I don't think
right?
they're coming up to just be the 10th team or the 9th team or
No,
making up the
but
league.
this is what I'm saying,
they're
though,
going to
like it's evident that you're going in there preparing for the Premier when previous probably weren't going in there preparing for the Premier. They're going in there preparing as if they normally would. Like, it completely changes your approach, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think what does stand to us though is we have got a group of players that have played Premier in the past. I think that's a big plus. That's a really, really big plus. So there's a bunch of young lads that haven't played. They've played a good level of football, academy football, CK United and everything. But they're having the lads that have already played Premier, the likes of Bobby for years, Pooch and Keane, lads. Jay Cockney played with Kalesh and things like this. Those sort of lads, Dylan Walsh obviously with Hanover.
Sir Scott Craig,
that may, exactly. I think that'll definitely make a big difference to us because they are used to it. But yeah, I think it's definitely I think you can play really well and not get the result you deserve, but over the course of the season. It's really tough, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, you keep saying it's bigger than luck as well, lads.
Yeah,
it's so much bigger than luck,
lads.
You're more in the familiarisation though as well because there's not too many teams in the first division got to a Shield final against a team, a New York team like that, and did yourselves justice until the red card came from Scott. Unfortunately, like it could have been a different game, but it wasn't. That's the way it goes. But
when you walk, never panic.
No, but never panic, and you know that about when you walk. But
yes.
I think people are more familiar with you because it's a town team coming up.
Oh yeah,
and not just not respect to Burn Celtic, but you wouldn't see them as many times as you see a Fiacc team because you're always in around the town most of the teams. But the night you put on the game against New York is really showcase what ability and what talent you have with like Ben up top holding up the ball, Bobby Marshall at the back, good goalkeeper, Boy's busy in the middle of the field. Like, even down to 10 men in behind the ball, stuck in and just created his minute, like one chance. Ben hold it up, hold off 2 or 3 lads, 2 or 3 touches, out the iron, fizz the ball across, bang, 30 seconds later it's the back of the goal. Yeah. Like you've attributes to hurt any single team, but it's like what you said, is to do it week in, week out on a Sunday where you make a mistake, you're punished.
And it'll be, I think it'll be stronger.
I think you'll do well.
You've made a couple of good signings, have you, Pop? Anyway, so
have I?
That'll make Hanover stronger, I think. As well.
It's exclusive, Pete, is it? Can you take that out there, will you, lads? Papa, what have you done?
I don't know.
But that night down in
it's a breach. I don't think it's July yet, is it?
Well,
in April.
Jesus, say no one.
But it definitely make the Premier stronger, I think, isn't it? In every year.
I was just going to say the same.
Yeah, and you know what it is? Even the place it's in now, lads. New York are in Leinster semi-final. Fancied favourites, right?
Yeah.
And rightly so.
I think they will,
And they didn't win their league. And this is what I have. If you look at the Kilkenny League, Evergreen are winning it. Evergreen are deep in the competitions. For what, the last 15 years?
Yeah.
Do you know? And that league has suffered massively because of that.
Yeah.
And the Car League is...
But it shows you the quality in the league when a team like New York, as good as they are, haven't won the league now for 2 seasons, but they have to go into 2 Leinster semi-finals.
That's mad, actually. Thought about that way.
You think about it.
I was at the semi last year.
Yeah. And they have got no weaker. Like,
but 3 different winners over 3 years. 3 different winners of a league over 3 years is very good.
Yeah.
It's good for the league.
It's good for the league. It's definitely good for the league.
It's brilliant. What are you going to build on?
On the pitch or off the pitch?
Everywhere. Give me an exclusive. You didn't get to who Papa got anyway, did you?
I mean, on the pitch.
But what do you need, honestly? What do you think you need?
On the pitch, don't want to sound arrogant, but I don't think we need too much at all.
Fair enough, yeah.
We've had a lot of lads that missed big chunks of the season this year. So if they all stay, it'd almost be like having new players. Because I like the idea of, freshening things. When a good player joins the team, it gives everyone a lift. But we've had a lot of players, let's say Jake missed a good chunk of the season. Fantastic player. Do you know what I mean?
And Cockney?
Yeah.
The first 4 or 5 games there this season, he was there. This lad's after hitting the ground running. There's no one getting by him.
But he can play
He was a man possessed.
left side of the tree,
Playing the 6
or left wing. Left side of midfield.
Yeah, 6, yeah.
We used to play him
six
for the
before.
academies in the 6, yeah.
And Keane only came into it quite late. We kind of joined us after the Gaelic. He played a couple of games, then he got an injury and he was out for a good bit, and then he's only really come. So for me, again, it's almost like they're new players going into next year without that sounding stupid,
Yeah.
But so I actually think there's the squad we have. I think the biggest improvement can come from within. If we can improve the decision making, because there are a lot of young lads.
Yeah.
That'd be because
Such a political answer.
Physically, technically, and tactically. That's what I was talking about. Physically, I think you're not going to improve.
You're okay, yeah.
Technically, there's a lot of good technical ability in the. But so then it's the tactical, just the decision making. I think that's where, especially for young lads, looking to maybe look for the difficult pass instead of trying to do the simple thing. And that's for me. That's the difference when you watch the likes of New Oak. You watch New Oak. I said they don't panic. No. They don't do anything too spectacular, apart from the odd Dino free kick. But their decision making is just much more consistent, much better. Over the course of 90 minutes, they make better decisions more often than they don't. And that's why, come the end of the game, they're always there or thereabouts.
It's 40% quality and 60% hard work.
Yeah.
And in that 60% is your decision making.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between a good player and a bad player. You coach a player with all the ability in the world, and you have to tell him something 5 times and he doesn't do it, he's never going to be any good to you. If you coach a player and you coach him once, twice and tell him, here's what I want, and he does it for you but hasn't got the same ability, they're the players you want. Because they're just going to go and die for you, lads.
Yeah. And they keep improving. They keep improving.
All the time.
Keep improving.
All the time.
That's for me. That's what I think. So if this group of players, if we can get an extra 10% improvement out of each of the players in the squad, for me that's massive for us. Without
Jaden Kelly is the perfect example.
Yeah.
From
Very
looking again
Shane.
from the outside in, he's a serious conversation to be had.
Yeah.
He's going to be a brilliant player.
Yeah, he's
really
very
good.
Yeah.
Like at the start of the season, they were saying like that he's only a young lad. He's only after going 17. Couple of mistakes in the middle of the field, and look at him now. It's only months later. It's only in the last few months.
That's a stretch.
He's learning
isn't it?
every game. He is learning every game.
It's testament to
It's
the
getting better and
management
better
setup
and better
as well, right?
But it's not only him. There's other players there.
Yeah.
Like that team, the Fiacc team is only going to get better. They're not just going to get stuck in the mud. They're young and they're hungry. That's the big thing. They're hungry. They're
Many
hungry
footballers
to get up
only-
and get at the Premier.
Many footballers, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
They'll all go back. Your boys will go back, right?
Yeah, the way most of the lads do it is they'll stay once they're with the soccer, they stay with the soccer, and then but once they're with the football, they'll stay and see that out. So,
do you think it'll have an effect when the calendar football comes in?
Yeah, I think for both. I mean, if it goes ahead as planned, we've got probably 6 or 7, and without naming names, I'd say there's 2 that would probably definitely pick soccer. There's probably 2 that would pick the GAR, and then there's 2 I wouldn't.
Depends on the game.
I couldn't guess. Yeah.
But that's
It
like,
means they have to pick.
But
So
you're
both
potentially
teams.
missing 4 there, aren't you?
Yeah.
yeah, but the fact
Starters.
lads haven't gone back though, Poppa, as well. Like the fact that
Yeah.
because I know you're saying they stay till the end. Like that's only a new thing. Like
Yeah.
that's only in the last
yeah.
couple of seasons. Like
Patch, I remember years ago we were playing Bobby Dial, Muck Parr.
Yeah.
We'd be waiting and the season would be over by the time they came back from the Gaelic.
yeah,
Season would be finished, we'd be rock bottom or
yeah,
second or third from bottom, and then lads are like, for fuck's sake, what's the point like?
yeah.
You know what I mean? But now it's, you finish the Gaelic, but when you come to the soccer, you finish the soccer.
But
and it's the best
that's-
degree, but it's the fairest way. Sure.
That's testament to the league in a whole, though.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
lads saying,
Yeah.
because if like you said, I'm not going back to that. Go away with them lads
Yeah.
in the pub of a Saturday night and plays. No, it's different gravy now, boys.
Yeah.
The young lads don't go to the pub anymore. Like. Do you know in
No,
that
no.
way?
Devil lads do.
I don't know. I have to. Funny enough, that was a comment. That was a comment that was made by one of the lads that plays for our B team now. A really good lad, right? He said that he'd been with Fiacc, like been playing for 6 weeks, I think he said, and he'd already been on more nights out with the team than he had with his previous team in the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah,
So
I
the
believe
young
that.
lads, they do like a good night out.
They
don't
do.
They're
Yeah.
kind of a bit
They do.
old school in that way,
Yeah.
like so.
To like an old
Square
lot
for a
of
square
them
for
don't
team
drink
one,
though. Don't drink.
Seen a good
Jeez, I
video,
dunno.
good clip
Yeah.
of them there
Yeah.
in the Kung Fu after the other night.
I'd say that was then.
They're all chanting and dancing. Bobby Dolan was in the middle of it,
Course
like
he
a
was, yeah.
cheerleader. Not a bother on him.
You're going to lose
John's
Scott to
in the
darts
young
now
and hard.
soon, are you?
To the what?
You're going to lose Scott to
To the
darts now
darts.
soon, are you?
They love a bit of darts, actually.
lads,
Yeah.
he
See him
is-
throwing darts, lads.
He's going to make money, lads.
He's always been that.
Is
They've
he?
got a
Unbelievable.
dartboard at home.
Yeah.
They've got a dartboard at home. They've always
Sure,
had it.
I do come across his lives
Yeah.
Checking out 160-70s as if it's nothing.
Sure, he won a York there at the weekend in Dicey's again, did he?
He won last night.
Was it last
Bank
night?
holiday Monday, yeah.
Yeah, last night.
I think it was, yeah.
Like, that's fucking...
The Roycroft's, Adeline and Jason's place, that was always the place to be when the kids were there.
Pacelli, yeah.
Out on the green for the soccer and in the house for the darts.
Yeah,
That was it,
yeah.
always. From a young age, yeah.
Didn't realise that good at that.
Yeah.
All to do though. So what are you thinking about going back then pre-season wise? Are you go back a bit earlier, or are you worried about that? Are you worried about that kind of dovetail that lads are like if Greg go deep in the GA or?
No.
We have a lot of players.
Yeah.
there. Like,
I wouldn't say worry.
It used to hurt us, to be honest with you. It would, but at the minute, you're losing good players, but we've strengthened depth, haven't we? Like I think anyway. To hold their own anyway till the boys get back. You know, I don't see
the only bit I wouldn't say we're worried because the way we never ask the lads to come back early. We just say, listen, you make your own decisions. You know, you commit where you feel is right to commit. You know, and then but then when they come back, they have to work their way into the team. You know, so it's like So say somebody comes back from the Gaelic, they never go straight in, no matter what the game is. That was like, when we had a couple of big games, around the North End game and stuff like this.
Yeah.
That was when the lads were kind of coming back, but we just refused to bring lads straight in. So they have to at least be training for a couple of weeks before we'd even consider kind of bringing them back in.
John Goggins spoke very highly of his that day.
He did, yeah.
He said you're a fantastic team. He couldn't believe you in the first division.
We were
on the podcast area.
We were missing 7 stars that
day.
day.
We told him you were missing. Yeah. We said 4 or 5, but we didn't know. We knew it was in around 4 or 5. But
the back line, that was it. So probably one of the biggest things. The back line that day was 3 18-year-olds and a 21-year-old.
Yeah,
that's what that was. Yeah, we actually went with the back 4 that day as well. That was one of the tweaks we made just because of it.
So the lads coming off actually backline. It says, "Is there anyone even legal to have a pint? Anyone going for a pint?" Just looking at it. Oh yeah, my mate.
Paul Lucas said 4 straws in the game.
That was a big result as well, though. Right? I know it was your bet, but you're playing one of the best teams.
We lost against North End now this year, 1-0, and we lost to Newark. And I'll be honest with you, I was as proud coming out of them games as I was coming over Loughlin Bridge last Wednesday. I'll be honest, because, like I said, the transition from kids to men. Like I know what North End are. I know what Newark. I'm watching Newark. I'm watching Dean Kelly burst onto the scene. Keane Dowling. You know what I mean? The Murphys. Like I was. I'll be honest with you, I was just as proud of it because I knew the effort. And I know the direction we were going as well. Like I said to myself, these boys are afraid of no one.
But you've been around the negative a long time as well, though, Shane, right? You've been around times, as you mentioned, where...
Scared. Newark, pretty hard.
Yeah, I get
it. Do you know that was used as a motivation the other night, though? That was Bobby's big thing. Basically, he said that we lost all of the biggest games we've had this year, which was New Oak, North End, Gorey Rangers.
Yeah.
Okay, the first game against Dolman, he said we've lost them all.
Yeah.
So you could say whether it was close or not. The fact is we lost all the big games. So you had to put that right.
Yeah.
That was
the Gorey beachy?
Yeah, in the
down there.
Leinster?
Down there.
Yeah.
Wow. 4-2, was it 4-2?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. 5.
They gave us the score as well in the past.
I'll be honest though, we came off against North End feeling that we kind of, it was, we had a couple of chances at the end. They had but against Gorey Rangers we kind of felt almost a little bit cheated, to be honest.
Really?
It was one of those. It was shocking down there. It was, to be honest, a great team, fabulous team.
Why?
Just we say decisions I'd never normally give out about the rest, but it was awful.
Well, sure, they're not car refs, so you can say what you want.
Yeah, it was awful. Honestly,
really?
Biased,
like pure biased, like.
I've never seen it. I always think the car refs generally sometimes go overboard to be fair, to be seen to be fair. Actually, I think. It was probably, it was really, in my opinion, it was really biased. It was down there, It
was bad, no. It wasn't just your usual
50-50. Yeah, they were a great team.
I was doing linesmen on the far side.
Yeah. I should blame the linesmen, sure, look.
Yeah.
I feel like give him a belt of his own flag, to be honest with you.
Scott clean through, scored a worldie. He rolled it off. Pulled it back. Like
what?
Yeah.
For offside?
Yeah, he was... No,
but anyway, speed of him.
Obviously, we're a little bit biased, but...
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. Well, look, do you know what it is? If you're sitting there in front of me and you're hard done by against one of the best teams in the country, being Gorey Rangers, you rightly so.
Yeah.
So, and what? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least you're competing, you're at that level, you're there. Like, you don't have a long road to travel, lads. You're at the top, like. You're back in the Premier League, you don't have a long road to travel.
No.
And that's what we want. I'll be honest, that was, when you're saying it wasn't a timeline, but that's always what that's what we try and tell the young lads. These are the days you want to play football. This is what playing football is all about. The big games, the big teams, playing in cup finals.
They want to be playing against. They want to be playing against the best teams in the Pats. You walk. You know what I mean. But they want a shot at the big boys. They want to see where they are as well. Not just over one game in the Shield. They want to go in and they want to show what they're capable of doing, and that's even.
They want to be the best, yeah.
Well, they want to be the best, and they want to prove it.
And they want to play every game, which is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
What a headache!
Great headache to have.
I don't know. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, lads. Like, lads there'd be a bit of fear. Do you know what I mean? It's not a case of Fiacc will be gone. Sure, the boys are playing Gaelic or like, you have your shit together. Do you know what I mean? And it won't be like lads will be like, oh fuck, don't fancy playing that Fiacc side, do you? Like, I wouldn't like to play that.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know it's
going to be tough.
The draw for the like, I hope we avoid you in the semi-final of the cup. I'm going to be honest, because I'd be like, fucking hell.
There's too much at stake.
But even the fact that
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't fancy that.
Yeah.
I'd rather play a Cretty Yard or whoever. Do you know what I mean? And I think there are a lot of teams, and if a lad said different, I think they could be lying.
It's a tough one. Yeah, I love looking at footballers, and I see some of those lads. And like, we were over at Oscar Centre this year, and we had 3 lads in Fiacc, and I asked young Bradley in, but he couldn't come in.
Yeah.
But next year it'll be more.
Yeah.
Like,
you
have attributes there in that squad that will do damage in the Premier League. But the thing is, like you said, Pete, is can you do it on a consistent basis?
Yeah, every week.
That's the thing. That's
week.
why, like, I'm not being disrespectful. I say, do I think St. Fiacc will win the league? No. Do I think they'll get relegated? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think 3rd, 4th, 5th. That's the target. And I think you can get it.
Yep.
Very achievable for you.
Yep.
I think Pats and York will be stronger next year. And after that, I think it's anybody's bite of the cake. Really, honest to God, because you're losing Kilree or Bagnallstown. You'd fancy Bagnallstown to stay up.
Yep.
Not disrespecting Kilree, but you would. But stranger things have happened. And Burn Celtic are like a different team now towards what they were before Christmas.
Yeah.
They go along and thump Cretty Yard 4-1 away, beat Bagnallstown at the weekend.
That was a mad result, that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, see, the Cretty Yard team. The Yard team wasn't bad either.
Yeah.
No. Has to turn the corner.
I was chatting to somebody, said the old proverbial, game of 2 halves. He said the first half to the second half, complete chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
He said they
Yeah,
came
Killian Fagan playing for Burn Celtic is as good as any player in Carlow. I can
He's
categorically
excellent
tell you
player,
that.
yeah.
He's fucking outstanding.
And Duffy as well, isn't it?
Duffy's absolutely outstanding.
Very,
They've a lot
very
of good
good
players.
Yeah.
But I would be like, looking at all the games we played this year, there's no team too far away. Like, say Collection are probably 2 or 3 players short from being, and I'd say Bagnallstown were the same, Hanover are the same, just a couple short of being in the mix. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a different name on a trophy again next year. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like,
it's good though. It's good for the league as well. Like,
Brilliant,
the
man.
competitiveness
It's
there.
great for soccer.
You can't call it. Years ago, it was the same couple of teams. You knew the result before you go on. It was boring even going to them. Now you're going and you just don't know. You don't know what. Like Parkville or Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
What's the story there?
I looked at Parkville's team sheet against Pats in the league game, and it was 13 in the card.
14 or
13, whatever it was. And we played them Sunday, and rightly so, because it was their last game. If they didn't win, and the 23 lads warming up. And they go,
the Connect's great.
I think it's.
I love the Connect.
First of all, I think it's disrespectful to the club.
They're going to start enforcing it, are they?
Do you know what I mean? I think really you can't have 13 one week and 23 another week. That's disrespectful to Parkville.
Yeah.
Their own club.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a thing. It'll have to enforce it. Like you were saying, Dublin don't use it, right? Dublin or Connect don't.
We went up to play a team in Dublin, and your man said, "Have you got the app done?"
Yeah.
I said, "We didn't get a match card yet. We don't use match cards up there."
All done, is it? Yeah.
And then he said, "If any's qualified, be on the sideline." And I said, "Yeah, well, 2 of us are." Yeah, but if you're not on Connect, you're not allowed on the pitch. And then one of the players went to have a piddle in the corner. And he goes, if he takes out the big lad down there, he's getting a red card. And that's what the referee said to him, yeah. So I said, go piss in the toilet.
There was one of the outside competitions, I think it was we had to use the app for that. There was no card.
App only.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah,
and it actually winds me up then, because I follow it right the whole time. I'm a nerd for it. It winds me up then when some team hasn't put in their team.
Yeah.
Or not in their squad.
It drives me wrong. You think a team's after winning 2-0.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh, that's a great
We
result.
do the same thing.
Murph does all ours, actually. He's all so if we're updating the app at the minute, either Murph's at the game or somebody's sending him messages, Shane's sending the messages and he's updating it. So we have to get more to do anyway as well.
Because it'll be like, my understanding is it gets updated anyway.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not live, if you go back a couple of days later,
it does,
it gets updated anyway. Emails are mad for that, aren't they? I got the emails for 35 player there that registered for Pats. About 95 emails.
Yeah.
And we only signed 10 players. How does that work? But no, I think it's the future. I think it's brilliant. I think it's such a great tool for junior soccer.
It's great, even if you don't. If you're free Sunday, Pete, and you're going, geez, I can drive that's a half an hour on the road. Go and watch a proper game.
Yeah,
we nearly got cut out as well.
Yeah.
It's safe just getting cut out. There was a couple of times, time early on in the season. Funny enough, it was young Brad out. We were bringing Brad out very early on in the season, and couldn't add him into the squad. So I rang Murph, said no, he actually hadn't been added. He was signed for the club and everything.
He wasn't moved over,
but he wasn't moved over. Now, if that was the old days, we'd have played him.
And gone.
We'd have played him and probably got a fine, drop points. And everything like that.
Yeah,
but now,
easy happen.
if they're not there, that's it.
I do it. Fill in the card on the Sunday morning. Picture Lavinia McCarran, and if I get no phone call from Lavinia, everybody's okay in the card. Other than that, she has rang me a couple of times to take him off it.
You're always playing bangers.
You know,
You're always playing bangers. You're always you. History of it.
what child you?
It's we're not too far away from things being streamed and that as well, right?
So this year, players register themselves, do they?
Well, you don't. You just
Is
move
the
them over.
season coming?
Yeah. No, I mean, you don't actually have to do a registration or anything anymore.
Just tick a box, really, is it?
Yeah. You just basically give your commitment, don't you? And the secretary moves you over, sort of thing. Moves you over to or if you're moving from another club, they do their bit. Murph is our magician, and the secretary does everything. I'll be honest, he's fantastic to have.
Wayne, is it?
Yeah. Listen, couldn't be without him. Honestly, the amount of work he does, and I know I wreck his head because
he's a gas man to field when he played, wasn't he?
It was a
He's
different man.
quiet now. He's
a different man. I'll be sending him
Mm.
messages, and I'll reckon his head. And can you just check? Can you just check this? Can you just check that? Hang on, I'll get back to you. 10 minutes later, come back. Yeah, that's good. That's good. He's all right. He's good. That's fine. Listen, bang on. Honestly,
Yeah.
He's too busy now to lose the head.
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah.
He's the club secretary, right?
Yeah.
Big position as well,
Top
right?
man, yeah.
What's Donna then?
Donna's juvenile.
She's over all the juveniles best.
Yeah.
She loves it, doesn't she?
So we've got two committees, if you like. There's a club committee, but
The
then
last
there's
without
the
her now,
juvenile
Podge,
one.
I'll be honest. The last without her.
Yeah.
Donna is Eva Kelly, isn't it? DTE.
Yeah, 100%.
Eva's the same, sir.
100%.
Backbone.
Yeah.
The backbone.
There a long time.
She also has control over the social media.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's over the socials. Is
She has control of it, so we send her all the stuff.
Yeah.
Donna edits it just to check them.
Yeah.
You're good at it all, lads. Like your social media, you're a big presence on it. Like, and even I see you have TikTok there now on the go as well. And like, you know, you're.
It's the way to go, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you're going the right direction, lads.
Yeah.
It's
exciting times, Podge. It's very exciting.
100%. The only thing
Very
in the back of your mind has to be, and this is only my insight, is that little grey area doubt that we've been there before, lads. Let's not go back now. Do you know?
Yeah.
A different mentality with these players, though.
Yeah.
You know, they're mentally
Would it be
strong
fair
for
to
young
say
lads. They're mentally strong. They'll take it. They'll take the last.
Different identity
dust
as well,
themselves down,
Shane,
but
right?
they'll last.
We were very aware of that. I'll be honest, it was one of the conversations we had. I'll be honest, from my point of view, even when we first came back, and because obviously the group of players that started when we started in Division 2, you know, it was some of the older lads came back, fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
But we had a really big, open conversation about that we were aware that Fiacc had a certain reputation from before, and we said, look, if that has to stop. Right, so we have to be whiter than white. So for this season, and we actually did. That was one of the goals we set, was to have the best disciplinary record.
Really?
Yeah, but I've been. It came from. You're laughing at. It came from the whole needing to win 85% of our games, right? Because I said to lads,
Stat man.
I said if we lose, if a man gets sent off, if somebody gets sent off, your chances of winning the game drop massively.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So that's one of the 2 or 3 you can lose gone out the season. So we said anyone that looks like they're going to get sent off, you're off.
Fish hook,
and we did it. We did it. The first time we did it, I remember there was a lad, lost the head, got a yellow.
Yeah.
It's first half, 30 minutes in, you're off.
Because we were like, what are they doing over there? Why are they pulling him?
Yeah.
When lads came up, no, he got a yellow card. That's the way it is here now. And I was like, that is good.
That was it.
But even your style of football, like I remember my first stint at Pat's Fiacc Premier, right?
Yeah.
And I remember playing up in the school and scoring very late to equalise 1-1. Like, and you're like, talk about style of football. It was like, you're in for it, lads.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the sense they're going to kick and pull and drag, in the sense that the ball's going to be 70% in the air, and out of that 70%, 50% of it's going to be in around your 18-yard box.
Win your individual battles.
Man, it was tough.
Nick a goal and lock it up.
Well, like, you've even moved from that, right? You've even moved on from that, where it's like we're getting down, we're 3 at the back, our full-backs are arriving late. I like the little rotation in the middle. I like Jed and Curran getting on it. I'm thinking, this is
good to watch.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for that long ball in there as well. Actually, there's a lot of teams try it against, play against us, and it puts you, you're under the cosh, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. You have to play. You have to.
But it's a tactic from teams as well that they know if their midfield is not as good as your midfield, bypass the midfield.
Yeah.
Turn them, without going down the goalkeeper's throw, turn them at an angle, whether it's over the right full or over the left full of your 3 centre halves, and turn them real quick and press. And then if you go back to Dyler, if he doesn't get if he get his head down, you know what I mean? It's a proper press, like, but
there's a difference.
It's harder said than do.
But there's a big difference, and I always say this as a coach. Like, long ball. Like, if you're playing to area, like, it's not the ball. It's what the ball is doing to the team you're playing against.
Yeah.
So if you're playing in areas that they have to turn and face their own goal, that's a win, lads.
Yeah.
You're putting them in big
So,
balls.
here's the logic. It takes us 20 passes to do that, or we can do it in one diag.
Yeah.
Good diagonal on the board, you can't beat it.
You're going to do it in one diag, aren't you?
I have to
all the time, like.
It is one of my pet hates, though, when I see kids' teams doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of my pet hates. Because I think, for me, when you're coaching the kids' teams, it's like, what you're trying to do is you're trying to help create footballers that can progress. Whereas I think sometimes you see some of the kids' teams and they just have one big lad up front, knock it long. You're not teaching them anything. And then that's why I think a lot of those young lads struggle to progress into men's football, because all they're used to is a big long ball, the big lad chases it. The problem is when you get to men's, everyone's big.
Yeah.
Right? And all of a sudden, you can't play football. So that's why. So I accept that in men's football, there's more than one way to win a game. And definitely, we're not averse to the odd long, especially when you got Doyle with his distribution.
Just want to say it, yeah.
Bobby Dowling from St. can ping a ball,
Ping.
But it's one of my pet hates when you see it in kids football, honestly.
Yeah, well, I would agree with that because I've been around soccer a long time and juvenile soccer as well. And the one thing I used to annoy the bollocks on me is the centre half kicking out the ball.
Yeah.
Everyone.
First of all, why is he playing centre half? Because he can kick it 50 yards.
Yeah.
Second of all, he's playing there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying, I think the greatest rule the FAI brought in years ago was that starting line. What was it called? Whatever it was. They brought in a rule where a team could only play from when it was a kick out, couldn't pass this line. What was that called?
Is that what they did for kids?
Yeah, years ago. So you could get down and play out.
Yeah.
And it was great.
I don't remember that, Podge.
Yeah, it was.
it?
Someone contact us and tell us what line it was, please. And thank you, fishing line. But no, so I think I'm the very. But I wouldn't have kids playing soccer anyway. I just have them training in 1,000 touches, master the ball, and then when they get to 13, 14, then worry about playing games. I think these small-sided games, these are absolutely a waste of time.
The kids love it, don't they? Doesn't matter. You could not have any goals, and the kids will still come off and go, I know what the score was.
They know.
It's celebrations and all.
Keep
You're laughing
track.
at them.
Yeah, no, they know. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
but I just think, keep it in house. Just play.
Yeah.
Just give them a ball there and play. Like, I think, and I go back to Jack Byrne, and I've said this 20 times, he's the last of a dying breed, lads. He's the last street footballer. Yeah. He's the last of a dying breed. There's not many of them out there anymore.
Do you know we have a mini version of Jack?
Did the little chap playing for Mick Dargan's team? Sam, what's his name, young lad?
No, there's in between, and we got young Brian as well.
Brian
DeSantis.
And lads you got for St. Pat's, yeah?
Yeah, he actually did come over. He's another. I tell you, he's actually used again this year, but again,
Good player.
He's fearless, absolutely fearless.
Good player,
He's quality, yeah.
But there's no. But the point I'm making is that that whole day of, because back in the day, lads would play in the street. We did, right?
Yeah.
Lads would play in the street and then go play their soccer, and it was grand. But nowadays they're not playing in the street; they're only going playing soccer.
Yeah.
So they're actually not getting good habits.
Yeah.
So there's a generation that's not playing on the not playing the green, not playing from morning till night. And
They're playing soccer, but there's a controller in their hand.
Yeah.
That's what
But we
doing.
love it. I mean, we encourage it. And, we do actually. We really encourage the lads to go at people. And you said you thought Jam had been playing really well. That's what we encourage him all the time. Go at your man. Try and isolate him. Take him on.
He was fantastic the other night.
To watch,
He was best player in the field, I'd say. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah,
If he takes flight on
marking a
that
proper
right
winger
side,
too,
like, no one's stopping him.
Yeah.
No one can stop him, but it'll be a free kick.
Yeah. Really good player.
That was one of the other players
really
that was in that age group that we forgot. Who's been out? Mikey Horan, because obviously Mikey was out.
Mikey
he
got injured.
He missed the whole second half of the season with a bad injury. So again,
struggling with his ankle.
So, yeah, he'll be back at the start of next season. Said, you know what I mean? Again, it's like a new player. So so
squad wise, you don't even a couple of youths come up maybe, but I think you're fine. So leave everybody else alone, won't you?
Of course.
There's more youths coming up. Like Oisin is doing a great job with the youths, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's sending up quality now.
Won the league last year and cup final this year. It's good. Hanover won it, yeah. But that's like, but see, the whole thing about the youth thing is the success is what you can get to play at your top level, and this is something that clubs get wrong, and this is why they fall. So you can win everything from 12s to 17s. It means nothing if they're not playing for your top side.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you look at your 10 play currently in the group you have, they played from 10s the whole way up.
Yeah.
And they're playing. That's your victory is getting them into the first team.
Yeah.
It's like you with Aaron. I think that Bailey Cooney, the chap that's playing for Hanover, I was looking at him and
Brought
thinking,
in Seb there over the last few games has been fantastic.
he's going back to bats.
Yeah,
If that,
I'd
say to myself, if that Bailey Cooney isn't in around the Hanover first team next year, that's a failure, regardless of winning the youth double, because he's so. Do you know?
He's good, yeah.
Do you have anything for the lads before we wrap up?
Look, no,
we're not wrapped up yet.
So I know Shane. I played against Shane a couple of games in the flats.
right.
Different pitches and that out in Crossneen, I think we played as well.
Yeah, that's right.
But
Remember that pitch?
Yeah.
Ridge played there as well.
Yeah, I played. Do you know what? I actually played for Ridge there. One game.
Did you play for Ridge?
Did you?
When we were living out of Ballinabrana.
Jimmy Dunn
I came out of retirement. I played one game. I
field,
literally was on the pitch for about 2 minutes. Did me Achilles, but I thought I can't come off. There's no way I could come on in my first game and go off. So played on, set up a winning goal, and then had to go off.
Yeah.
And then I didn't play again until the 35s.
They had a striker up front was deaf.
Ended done.
Unbelievable.
They had a better one in Ray Boogie. Not Rammer from Critty.
The Dunn
He
brothers.
played for Crittayard as well.
Podge Brendan was over them. I think Podge was the manager.
Yeah.
Podge,
Podge Brendan,
Yeah.
Alan Devereux was over him for a while.
Was he?
Yeah, and they won a league and a cup, I think, back in the day.
I played for Fiacc with Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left full.
Dame O'Brien
I
played
was
for
in
Fiacc
front
as
of him.
well.
Dame O'Brien.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best players I've played alongside.
Damo.
Dame.
Unbelievable soccer.
Never seen him lose a header patch.
So he played for Fiacc for 3 or 4
I
seasons.
can't
didn't
ever.
he?
Yeah, he did, yeah. Never seen him lose a header. Danny Burnham is the same. Danny Coyle, just to read the ball. Just
Nicky
like
Brannigan was
shove
quite
before.
good as well for you.
Nicky was brilliant. Left foot on him, sure.
So it was chat because when I first playing 35s, and Damo was in that team, and we used to go playing Wolf Hill. There used to be some battles. Des Cooney,
Yeah.
Damo.
Yeah.
Oh man, they were some
class.
battles.
The harder the
I was
better.
actually trying to. How long's the 35s been going? I was trying to figure it out because I was saying to lads.
Carroll League.
Yeah.
It's been going since
I'd say
2007, 2008.
I was going to say 12 or 13 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's the thing. So
Longer than
I
that,
reckon I've been playing 35s longer than I played men's football.
What level did you play in England?
Good local level. Play Birmingham district. You know,
Play
so-
Saturday soccer.
Both. So the way it was in England, we used to play. You'd actually play for 2 teams.
Yeah,
Was
I
it?
know.
Play Saturday soccer, and
Which is in the pyramid,
level.
right? Which is in the football pyramid.
Yeah, so I played. Funny enough, one of the things you spoke about in the past is the reserve division. So I played in what was called the Midland Combination Reserve Division at the time, and so it was savage. So because our first team were in the lowest level of the pyramid, if you like, because we played in the Birmingham district, we used to play all of the reserve teams from all of the higher teams.
Okay.
So we'd play teams like Kidderminster Harriers, Bromsgrove, places. So we were going to better places than our first team were. It was class. But so you play on you play on a Saturday out on the last Saturday night, and then play Sunday morning for fun. So with a different club.
Yeah. Are you from Birmingham? Yeah.
No, we're from Leamington Spa. So family from Cork, believe it or not. I know you can't tell by the accent. Grew up
You
in
don't
Leamington.
sound like a langer, boy.
Yeah, exactly.
What's Leamington famous for? I feel like it's famous for something.
No, it's Royal, innit? Royal Leamington Spa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is famous, is it?
Yeah, I don't know, it's small enough, but a lot of people seem to have heard of it.
I
So I would have
definitely
played
heard Leamington.
because it's near to Cov, so I'd have played in the Cov and Birmingham district.
Why are you
league.
looking at me like that? What did I do?
It's the length of your thing.
Do you know what? Since you came back from America, you've
He's a new
changed,
man. He's a new
You've
man.
changed. You're wearing gym and coffee gear. You've changed. You're walking in with quinoa in the room before we come in here. You've changed, man.
Come over. It's a come over.
And let me tell you, you're replaceable as well. I'm just telling you.
Am I?
alright?
Yeah. Best of luck with that.
No, Leamington's definitely famous from something. Oh, yeah. You've threw me off now again. I don't even know where we are. We'll start questions again, right? No, thanks for coming on. We're going to go through Podge and Poppa, and we have a little bit to do. Pop, do you have anything else?
No, look, I said I've known Shane a long time. Great friends off it, even though rival clubs.
Yeah.
Great mates. And Pete, I've played against.
Yep.
And you can see his discipline and professional going through that same Fiacc team is oozing through it and continued success. You're doing a fantastic job.
Cheers, Papa.
Thanks a lot.
And best luck with the pitch. Hopefully it comes up for
Fingers crossed.
comes up trumps fees.
I wish he'd the best success in the world, except for 2 games in the Premier next year.
See?
Not going to lie to you.
Yeah, so that's it for
Do you know
90
what I mean?
minutes.
I'm sure you'd
on
wish
both
me the same,
occasions.
would you?
There's a lot of people in the club, obviously. There's the 2 games they're looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think that's.
Nobody knew you'd be retired.
Yeah. Why are you firing shots on?
Because you're moaning there all the time about being
You're
retired.
like a child. Time a month, is it?
You're-
Poor devil, yeah. You all right? I actually think that. I think it's gone nearly very friendly
What?
compared to what it used to be. Pats and Fiaccs.
Well, see if they draw each
It's
other
a
in the cups
healthy
and the
rate.
finals, see how
It's a
friendly
healthy
it is.
rate.
very
We all know
healthy.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
But like, an example is, we win the league on a Saturday night, you rock into Brennan's.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't expect to see anyone there for Fiaccs.
Yeah.
but chairman's public.
Yeah.
100%. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? And the chairman's coming over, shaking her hand, saying congratulations, delighted for you
Yeah,
before
yeah,
it. When you'd be like, oh no, he could flatten me here. Not saying that he won't. They don't.
No, I know
but you know
what you mean.
what
I know
I'm
what you're
saying?
on about. Yeah,
Like
of
I think that's. But I think
there'll always be tit for tat.
I think it has to be healthy for it to be respectful, right?
Of course,
Yeah, 100%.
It has to be.
And it always was.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Even going back.
I grew up with the lads, sure. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We know each
She's
other all
all
the
St.
names.
Pat's. I'm only joking.
Can't help yourself. Tell me.
It's time for
You're
Two
taking it easy with two
Peas in a
tongues.
podcast. Podge versus Poppa. Sponsored by
You keep still
Kelly
keep
Auto
scoring this?
Repairs.
No, I lost
it
weeks ago.
I'm 3
I
points
was
ahead.
winning until
Yeah,
you
did I
stopped.
text Podge?
You know
Did I
that?
text you?
I was winning until you stopped doing this. Now all of a sudden,
Yeah, coincidence.
yeah, Mr. Sore here beside me is winning.
You were ahead once. I think
ahead for a lot of time.
I think it was 2 weeks in or something.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right, come ahead anyway. Let's go.
54-51.
Yeah.
We both got a point for one last week. Killery Bagnallstown.
Who's first?
You this week.
Am I?
Yeah. Momo.
I don't know.
2-1. The Bagnallstown.
It's in Killery, lads.
Yeah.
It's going to be a passionate one after everything that happened last week at that funeral and all that. But I think Bagnallstown will be just as passionate, but I think they have a little bit more quality, and it comes back to the Danny Dale factor. I think he's just could be the difference between the
Danny
two
Dale
teams.
is just
I'd
You
say 3-1
sensational.
Bagnallstown.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
2-2.
Desmond.
Peace.
Okay.
Oh, Pete.
I think Bagnallstown will sneak it. I think 2-1.
Same football brands are, but you know.
Yeah. Only two of us got our hands on trophies this year.
Back to me when you're Molson.
Billy McBalls.
Full set. Full set.
Full set.
Full set, yeah.
Yeah. Oscars and all for it.
One will not really, but one will do for me.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
Newark Pats tomorrow night. Dead rubber.
Why, okay. 3-0 to New York.
I think Newark beat us 2-1.
I'll go 1-1. I think Newark have an eye on the Leinster Pats League One.
Yeah.
Dead
It's
rubber, like you
isn't
said,
it?
dead
Yeah.
rubber. You know.
What do you think, P?
I could see a draw as well because
Yeah.
I think your front runners could get at them, but I think they'll score as well.
I think they will, but
Yeah.
I think Badger fired up the wrong people here last week.
I could see. I could see
I
a
think you
2-2.
did.
Do you think?
I'll
Honest
go
to
for
God,
Desmond on
talking
that
to
one.
people.
Yeah.
2-2.
I just
Desmond.
think, yeah, he's
Boy, what do you think?
put fire in their belly. They didn't need much, but he's after igniting it again.
Boy, what did he say?
Not sure. Predicting, no disrespect, but
Oh, predicting
collection to beat them, and the hardest place to go is Gritty Yard, where New York have been consistently the best team in Leinster, one of the top 4 teams in Leinster the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
He's just Badger, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, yeah. He's storming the teacup.
Yeah.
Fixtures. This is a final, I think. Lads, girls under 18 Cup final. First one as well. So everyone's this will be the first name in the trophy. Ballymurphy versus Vale. That is Saturday in Nurney. The Premier Division, as we mentioned, Killery, Bagnallstown, Newark. Pats, that's tomorrow night. That 18's Cup final is tomorrow night as well. Yeah, Killery and Bagnallstown's going to be a big game, lads. You going to a pop?
Don't know what game I'm going to go to.
Maybe it was a secret.
No, it's not a secret. See what's the sign first.
On Saturday, what's that? Marmouche is... Who's Marmouche? Is he a player, Marmouche? Someone's texting me, Marmouche is lethal.
City.
Marmouche.
Where's
Oh,
the
City.
Beating Villa, I'd say.
He's Algerian or something. That fella. He is.
Egypt, isn't he?
Egypt. Rapid.
And the Premier Cup, Pats versus Vale, Saturday night. Fiacc versus Slaney, also Saturday night. That's in the Division 1 Cup, right?
Yep.
Nurney versus Burn Celtic in the Division 3 Cup. Has relegation been confirmed, yeah, from the Premier?
No.
No, I can't. Yeah.
That's why if
Yeah.
Bagnallstown don't lose...
But is there someone definitely going down?
Oh, well, 1 down, 1 up, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been confirmed.
Sure, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me though if they
Well, there is 10,
if they
isn't there?
restructure from 1 down because obviously there's only 6 left in Division 1 now. So
Yeah.
I think they'll restructure. They'll have to restructure.
No
that
fault
one
to
then.
the leagues,
is,
though.
No.
is there too many teams in the lower division below that?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say too many, but
No,
probably.
but there's more, isn't there?
Yeah,
There's 10.
Yeah, I can tell you what.
Opposite
that's,
6.
That's going to be some tough division next year. That is to get out of
Division
1 or the away days. Bolton Glass.
Bolton Glasser.
Yeah,
You're away to Slaney. You're away to Ballymurphy.
I think
Ballymurphy.
it's
and Donnelly.
screaming out for a reserve league.
Yeah, that's what I said.
yeah.
I think it's a good name.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
The reserve league just to beat teams and then the rest.
Yeah.
And then if that grows too big, you can just have another division.
Yeah.
Split and have another
Yeah.
division, but keep your B teams. And I think it'll help clubs as well. I think it'll help clubs because so players come back from injury, new players you sign, whatever it may be, they can go into your reserve league.
100%.
The games are going to be competitive, but it's not a case of life or death.
Yeah.
So you're not bringing someone back from injury that's a game to win the league or the game to go down. You know, I think it makes perfect sense. In the Premier Cup, Jez Newark have fixtures, don't they? This Sunday, Cretty Yard versus Newark in Cretty Yard. And in the Ladies' Cup, semi-final stage, Mill Celtic versus New Park and Cretty Yard versus Vale Wanderers. I think the draw for the Carlow Cup semi-final is tonight, right?
Time is that on the Podge? You know what time it's on?
No, I have no idea. Presume it's not.
Meetings
Close
start
now.
at 8, is it? Normally.
Lads, again, thanks so much for coming on. Genuinely appreciate coming on.
Thank you, lads.
Honest to God, I'm delighted you won it because, as I said to yourself and I said to a few others, to have 2 of the cups over the bridge is a big deal, lads, and it's bigger than I don't think it's ever happened before. It might be a long time before it happens ever again. Thanks so much for support, lads, for coming on. Thanks for Amplify, James and Paddy, fantastic facility here in Carlow. Thanks for the continued support. It's genuinely appreciated to everyone, and as always, Papa, it's not my podcast.
Not my podcast.
Sorry, it's your last podcast, so you carry on tonight. It's been a disgrace.
Best to look at that. That's like Podge without Raj, friend.
Yeah.
It doesn't go.
It's Carlow Soccer's podcast. It's your podcast. Good luck and God bless.
Good stuff.
Brilliant, lads. Thanks very much.
Lads.
Thanks, lads.
Thanks for having us on, lads.
That's full time on this episode of the How Is He podcast. Available on all podcasting platforms. Find us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter/X. Proudly sponsored by Curra Sports. For more information, contact Shane@currasports.com or check out their website, currasports.com.